Hello, today I hope you're healthy and you're safe and you are making the most out of this time to be and to enjoy the things about your life that are really going well, to find peace and not necessarily to have to prove anything or do anything or create anything unless you want to and you're feeling called to it, but to just be yourself. So today, Practical Creativity, your little installment, actually comes from these weekly live online coaching / dialogue chat, whatever that we're doing, just with the community. Anyone who is feeling a little lost is welcome to join. They're free, they're online, 30 minutes every day at 3 p.m. But we had some interesting conversations in just the 5 days that we've been going. So today, I want to share with you a tool that came out of yesterday. So for this, you're going to be thinking about what is your optimal state and how do you get into it? And then how do you make it part of your practice? Because when you're your best, you are bringing your best to your life, to your family, to your work, and to just yourself. So we talked about routines, rituals, and habits. Routines and rituals are a way that you can actually take a bit of control of your life, especially if you feel like you don't have a lot of control. So a routine is a choice. A ritual is a choice. A habit, sometimes those are not so much a choice, but the point with habits that we came to yesterday is just like little tiny things that happen multiple times per day or that happen regularly become big things over time. So just like being a little bit generous over time adds up to a lot of generosity, a habit of making your bed every morning or getting up at a certain time, it doesn't mean that you have to do any of these things, but it's just to be aware that the little things that you do, the habits that you have add up to being who you are. So let's get to the tool. So for this, you're gonna need my favorite tool, which is a blank piece of paper. And you're gonna divide it into thirds like you have a letter, okay? So in the left column, you're going to write a list. And this list is of when do you feel your best and when do you get your best ideas. So this is just a little reflective exercise. So maybe close your eyes, take a couple breaths, reconnect with when you felt your best or when you often feel your best or when do you get your best ideas. What is that environment? What's happening around you? Who are you with? Are you by yourself? Are you in a busy place or a quiet place? Are you doing a repetitive motion like cleaning? For me, it's all about my morning set point, which comes from waking up early and doing some physical exercises to warm up my body, doing some meditation, and then also going for some exercise. So yoga, running, just being out in nature. This is where I start to wake up my mind. I reconnect with my body, I reconnect with my spirit and my meditation, and then I connect with my imagination. So for me, practical creativity and everything that I'm creating comes out of that morning time, which is very sacred. And that is when I get my best ideas. I can't explain it. I just know I'm supposed to email this person and I have an idea about a workshop or something that I'm going to talk about. Often these videos come out of the inspiration that happens on my runs. So for me, where do I get my best ideas? When do I feel the best? Is when I'm doing my morning routine. It doesn't mean that inspiration doesn't strike other times, but that set point gives me a way to kind of get into a flow state, get into an optimal state, and build the rest of my day from there. Second column, right in the middle, what does it take for you to get into that state? Okay. So for me, it takes getting up, it takes going outside. It also takes going over to my meditation cushion and just following the ritual that I have around my spiritual practice. My friend Leanne is a big advocate of a routine where you hold space in the morning for MSP. She calls it MSP, which is mental, spiritual, and physical, reconnecting with your mental, the things that you can do when nobody else is bothering you. Spiritual, reconnecting with your higher self or something higher than you. From your ego, it's hard to always be getting into true inspiration and the things that are really helpful to people. But when you are in touch with your creator, in touch with the divine, whatever you want to call it, you have access to other information. And then physical, it's good to move your body. Your body needs exercise because it's the way that you manage stress. It's the way that actually sweating rebalances your immune system, and it helps your skin flush toxins. It's so important to sweat. So that's something that I'm committed to, and that's just because I've been around people who do that in the morning and then it's stuck. I'm a musician, so I practice things and now I don't even think about it, I just go. So the third column here on the right side, what are your reflections and insights from doing the first two columns? So what do you make out of what you learned about when you get your best ideas, where you are when you're getting your best ideas, and then what it takes to get there? So what are you going to do with that information? You don't have to do anything, but you're going to find some insights. So for me, early on, I noticed I did these things and I started to be a different way. And I started to show up more because for me, these are how I fill myself. And with a full me, I'm showing up differently for my clients. I'm showing up differently for my family. I'm showing up differently for my partner. And I'm showing up differently just in the world as a human being. So my meditation's about loving kindness. It's very important for me now to see that what I had been doing kind of evolving, not in a super deliberate way, but organically, I've been working toward this ritual that I have now that really sets my day up. So what I've done with that is create over time, and I'm not suggesting anyone has to have my routine. You have to figure out what works for you, but put a time limit on it. So if you want to start a ritual now, based on your optimal self, which is what you just mapped out in these 3 columns, put a time limit on it. If you feel like you get your best ideas when you're in the shower, maybe decide you're gonna take 1 minute where you're just breathing in the shower, and you put your time limit on it. You know you can be successful, and then do it and see what happens, right? So what will you do with this? Will you start a new ritual? How will you bring this information about optimal you into your world, into your life, into your family, into your work? I hope you'll share with me your results, and I'll see you another time.